See them coming, Mr. Baskin. So, good night, but good night, mother. Your mama don't want to see me around you. Your papa don't want to see my shadow close to you. Oh, baby, I need a final say I and I fair with you. Now, now, because I go go, my baby, sure you know, shadow, shadow, big shadow. If I lose you, not big shadow, shadow, big shadow. If I lose you, not big shadow. Say you want me and I want you, and you need me and I need you, and you love me and I love you. Let's get to one night place and stay. Say you want me and I want you, and you need me and I need you too. Let's go to one place so very far away. My mama don't want me for you. I go do anything for you. I go buy no liquor for you, girl. I can't lie. My baby, my mama don't want me for you. I go do anything for you. I go buy no liquor for you, girl. I can't lie. My baby, your mama don't want to see me around you. Your papa don't want to see my shadow close to you. Oh baby, I need a final say I had an affair with you. Now because I go down, my baby, sure you know. Shadow, shadow, big shadow. If I lose you, not big shadow, shadow, big shadow. I lose you, not big shadow. Your blessing. Now God to give you to me. Almighty God give you to me. I can't do without you. Your love is so nice, oh. Your love is so good, yeah. Your love is standard, even came on my baby. See, Yawado, big Yawado. If I lose you, not big Yawado, Yawado, big Yawado. I lose you, not big shadow. See the call me Mr. Baskin, so see the call me Mr. Baskin, so I could like boy, Bobo. I be knocking on your door. Oh baby, please come open the door for me. I be standing on your gate. Oh baby, please come outside, make we see. I be testing on your phone. You been ignoring my text. See, I be calling on your phone. You don't want to pick up my call. Baby, can you see, say I'm missing you. I want you get to stay with me. Come give me love, come give me love. Oh, baby, can we see tonight? Make I tell you my mind. Make I hold you close tonight. Make I give you my love. When I say twinkle, twinkle, little star, yeah, you are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. Me, I said twinkle, twinkle, little star. Me and you, we are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. When I said twinkle, twinkle, little star. Me and you, we are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. Me, I said twinkle, twinkle, little star. Me and you, we are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. When I say, who is in the garden? Now says she fine. Can I come and see her? No. Can I come and play with her? Property, just come inside. When I go in, I see fine girl. She get big ass, she get big ass. I like her down, but tell me, I know fit up. What thing she do, I know treat up. So you know, baby, we go to play hide and seek. We go to play hide and seek. We go to dey play hide and seek. We go dey play hide and seek. Man, I say twinkle, twinkle, little star. Me and you, we are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. Me, I say twinkle, twinkle, little star. Me and you, we are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. Man, I say twinkle, twinkle, little star. Me and you, we are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. Me, I say twinkle, twinkle, little star. Me and you, we are the star. I wish I can get you tonight, oh. See, I really want to take you out. Call all your friends, make we dey go. Call all your besties. Tell them say, man, I come make we dey dance. Oh, yeah, dance some more, baby, dance some more. Me, I don't feel you, oh, show. Oh, show, oh, na 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 na.
It's by vintage.com.
Every day living life in the jungle. And you know life ain't easy, so we got to hustle.
Purchase your
You know we got one life, so live it with love. So you know life ain't easy, go live it with love.
Yes, I carry good sana to the Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show. I am Joby. I will be your host, Joby Karibuni Sana. I hope you are doing great this wonderful Friday. The weekend is just kicking in, and of course, I'm vibrating positive vibes all the way here from the 254 to wherever you are streaming and listening to us from. Karibuni Sana once again. I hope you also had a fantastic weekend as we get to approach the end of the month. It's been the 30th of July. Tomorrow we're saying bye-bye to July. And I did say yesterday, and I do keep on saying this each and every time. I do hope that you each and every time you see a new month, or rather when you are approaching a new week, you have set the goals or some goals for yourself, because we are approaching the end of the month, and maybe you wanted to do something and you were just like targeting this month especially, and you were just like from the beginning of July till the end of this time, I'm going to have to achieve this and this and this. And I do hope at the end of the day you are able to set your goals and to be able to see them manifest into reality. Nonetheless, Karibuni Sana, we are live and interactive on our social media handles. We are on Facebook at the Black Hot Fire Radio Network Station. And we are also on Twitter at the Black Hot Fire Network. We are also on Instagram at the Black Hot Fire Network. You can also interact with us. That is at the +254 754 +254 754 402 730. You can call us in, tell us you're listening to us from. That is by SMSing us, WhatsApp us, and tell us you're streaming in from. You can also catch us on our website at the www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And once you log onto the website, you can be able to create your own profile and get to join the Black Hot Fire family. And once you also log in there, we have amazing content which is just there for you. You can also watch the videos, like, comment, share with your friends. And at the end of the day, you can also support us through our PayPal account, that is at the Mr. Black Hot Fire Network, and also through our website, that is at the www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. You can also download the app on the Google Play Store. I don't know if you guys can be able to hear me clearly. I feel like my ears are blocked somehow because I feel like I'm not loud enough. But I do understand it's because of the a little bit of the cold that I have. Nonetheless, Karibuni, and I did get to play amazing jams that they are lined up for you all the way from Nigeria, because I do keep on saying each and every time we need to support talent. We're seeing young youths outside there going out of their ways or doing crimes, or maybe involving themselves into crimes, because no one is there to venture, or rather to listen unto them or to support the talent that they have, the little thing that they have, or rather the simplest capital even the government can give, or even someone, even a parent, because we've seen even other parents who do not even believe in talent. And at the end of the day, we need to support talent, because these are gifts that you are given by the Creator, and the gifts that you have, no one else can ever take it away from you. Trust me, your gift is your gift. No matter what they do, if you are meant to shine, you will shine. Nonetheless, I did get to play you Lex the Wolf. We thank you, God. And this is just one of the best jams that I love about one of the best music that I love of Lex the Wolf, because it talks about, getting to appreciate, because we began the week very well. We've been putting out content out here. We've been talking to different people. We've woken up, and I do keep on saying each and every day in the ground, it's a blessing. And I just want to appreciate Lex the Wolf for dedicating that song to the world. And I do hope it's making some positive changes to all of you as well. I did also get to play you Yawa by the one and only Paxi Kid Banks. And I did also get to play Twinkle Little Star, but still the one and only Paxi Banks. You can check out the music on YouTube and get to support their talent. And, in any way that you can also get to share, because I do believe by sharing this content, you are spreading the message and you are making the awareness to different people who do not know about them. Nonetheless, karibuni sana. This is the Pan-African Bliss Show. And in case you are new here on the Black Fire Network, we get to discuss different matters concerning the African continent and uniting our brothers and sisters from, different parts of the world, be it in New York, be it in Florida, be it in LA, that is Los Angeles, be it wherever you are, in Atlanta, Georgia, wherever you are in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, we get to unite, get to discuss different matters as we get to see what is happening in different parts of the countries of Africa, and also, I said outside Africa. But at the end of the day, it's all about unity. And as we get to check also the matters that are affecting us, we need to bring out a solution. And in case you are also new, I do start my day here on the Pan-African Bliss Show by, motivating people. I do believe in being motivated. Also myself, you can motivate yourself. I do motivate myself each and every morning. And in case you're looking, or maybe you're finding a way on how you can motivate yourself, we have the Pinterest app, which has really made things easier, very, very simple, and where you can just wake up, check onto something, maybe a simple quote, some affirmation, how to make your manifestos. And at the end of the day, I do believe it's going to make a positive impact. So you'll have learned something different, because I do believe in life, each and every day we are in a progress of learning. You might be bumping even into someone who might talk unto you rude, but by the way you're going to react, that is a lesson that you have learned, that you'll know how to handle issues even in future. Nonetheless, the quote of today goes by, "Pardon the mess, my children are making memories." I know most of you might be wondering why this quote today, but this goes to the parents and also to the kids in general, which is going to bring us to the topic of today. I do love when I start the quote, which is going to relate to the topic that we're going to discuss, for you to be able to see what the meaning of the quote, or the impact it makes in your life, or maybe in someone else's life. But the quote of today goes by, "Pardon the mess, my children are making memories." This is simple, by in terms of or rather generally, when we talk about parenting, or rather raising your kids, I do believe parents do go through a lot when they are raising their children. But at the end of the day, they are also in the progress of learning, because one thing I can say personally, I did get to learn through my parents and through myself. This is a journey that my parent has not experienced. This is the first time, because me being the firstborn of my family, or from my family, it's quite difficult, especially for girls. Let me just say, especially for girls, for parents raising girls, and also for a girl, you've been raised as the firstborn. I do prefer a girl for a lastborn, like sincerely. But again, you can't control how God really gives, kids. So I do say in general, when we are in the journey of, educating children, or maybe our parents raising up, this is a journey that none of them had experienced. It's a first time thing. So when you are raising your kids, do get to understand them, so that they may be able to understand you. So the meaning of the quote generally say, "Pardon the mess." I mean, yes, kids do make messes, but they are making memories. Through these messes, they are making memories. But you'll find some parents who are, super strict to the children, who are super harsh to the children. When you're having stress, you're going to remove it onto the children. But at the end of the day, you're going to find, so many issues which are happening right now in the generation of today, because parents are not able to understand kids. But nonetheless, we're going to be introducing the topic today. I'll be introducing the topic of today later on, which is going to be, going to be talking about parenting in general. The problems, especially these problems teenagers face when they are with their parents, and of course also the problems that parents face when they are raising teenagers, or different, even the youths, or even the young kids. At the end of the day, we need to learn a lesson, because as I said, as I mentioned, you'll find, especially in the generation of today, I'll repeat, the generation of today, right now as we speak. So many kids are running away from home. So many kids are leaving their parents at home. So many kids, even other parents, are chasing away their kids out of their home. And this is just because of some little misunderstanding that you just can sit down, talk to your kid. Because trust me, when once someone, because in Kenya we do believe once you are 18 years and above, 18 years especially, you are an adult and you do know what is wrong and you know what is right. But right now, even the case is different. By the time you are 12 or even 13, 14, 15, you already know what is wrong and what is right. So you need to just sit down with a parent, or rather sit down with your kid and get to discuss matters in a mature way. You don't have to be all over the plot. You don't have to be all over the estate. And you don't have to handle your kids in the way you are handled. I do say I don't want to raise my kids the same way that I was raised, and I wouldn't want them to go, or rather, experience whatever I have experienced. Not like I had a bad experience, but I wouldn't want them to grow the same way I had grown. I want to be able to understand them. I want to be able to be there for them. I want to be a homie actually to my kids. I don't want to be like the mommy thing. No, I don't want to be that. Yes, there is the serious parent side, but you need to be more of a homie to your kids. Nonetheless, karibuni sana to the Pan African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. This is the Black of Fire Network Media for the 21st century. We are 5 minutes past 12 here in Nairobi, and the weather is super cold, super super cold. And I hope at the end of the day, all this cold that I'm also having, this malaria, I don't want to say it's serious malaria or nini or some serious thing. It's just gonna end away. But at the end of the day, we understand that it's the month of July, and of course it's super cold. Nonetheless, karibuni sana. We're gonna take a short musical break. Then when we come back, we're gonna be discussing different matters. Actually, I'm gonna still be playing "We Thank God" by the one and only Lex Do, because I didn't get to finish playing that music. Then when we come back, we're gonna be checking out what is happening in Nigeria. We're gonna see what is happening in Nigeria. Then also here in the 254 and other different parts. Also Burundi, because yesterday we were talking about Burundi, them in the Rhythm Scoop show, whereby we were talking about Burundi refusing to take the jab, whereby the government did tell them, they were not being enforced like other countries. Yeah, we've seen so many other countries whereby they are forced to take the jab, but Burundi right now has decided that it's going to take the jab. The individuals and the citizens of there have agreed to take him the jab. Nonetheless, karibuni sana once again. As I said, we are live and interactive on our social media handles. You can catch us on Facebook at the Blackout Fire Radio Network Station. You can also catch us on Twitter at the Blackout Fire Network using the hashtag Pan African Bliss with Joby and hashtag Blackout Fire Network. You can also catch us on DM us, type in the DM at the Blackout Fire Network on Instagram. You can also call us in, and I did get to say this, actually make it a practice, because I do see so many members of the Blackout Fire family on the WhatsApp group. Make it a habit whereby you just have to call in. We want to hear different engaging. We want to engage differently, and of course hear different how do I say this, different sentiments from different people, and of course how people are people get to think differently. So I want to listen, especially this part of parenting, because I do believe most of you out here are parents, and it will be better if we get to understand how you raise your kids in a different way. You can call us in, SMS us, or WhatsApp us at the +254 754 402 or 730. Karibuni sana. This is We Thank God by the one and the Lex the Wolf. Keep it the Black of Fire Network. We're going
Thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty. Thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my.
Beats by BigH.com.
Every day living life in the jungle. And you know life ain't easy, so we got to hustle.
Purchase your
You
tracks
know we got one life, so live it with love. So you know life ain't easy, go live it with God. So I keep thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty. Thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty. Thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty. Thanks to God, oh my, thanks to God, oh my, almighty. I keep thanks to God, almighty. Bad man no free stop. Every day trouble going crazy. Bad man them feeling mighty. But I give thanks to God Almighty. I give thanks to God Almighty. I no live in fear. Doubt them disappear. Cause I remember when they say man no go become nothing. I see man no go become nothing. I see me I don't become something. I see me I don't become something. All I do I need money. 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 Like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty. So like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty. Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty. See every day, man the ginger all day, man the hustle all day, get paper all day. As for the pay, motivo, con the ask to shake na lotto, where you con the get the moto, all the girls that done the photo. I'm going on my way, got nothing else to say. Good God, shine it down, good God, shine it down. All I do I need money, all I do I need money, all I do I need money. Thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty. So like thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty, thanks to God Almighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Black Fire Radio, video for the 21st century.
Welcome back to the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. This is the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. We hope you are doing great this wonderful Friday. The weekend is just kicking in. And as I said, it being the 30th of July, I hope you are harvesting the goals that you did get to set for yourself, in the beginning of this month. As you get to approach August, I don't know which are the plans that you have for yourself, but to do ensure that you are making something positive, because also the year is almost coming to an end. Despite the curfew, the lockdowns and everything, the pandemic has really affected so many people. We hope that you are doing great this wonderful Friday. That is we thank God by the one and only Lex the Wolf. And I am, as I said earlier, I am vibing to the jam. I am appreciating the jam. It's just a message whereby, I'm so super, grateful for how, God has really been protecting us since the beginning of the month till now. We've not been sick. We've not lacked anything. We've been there. We've been taken care of. That is just I can say. And also being given the gift of life, which is really an honor. Nonetheless, Karibuni once again. As I said, we are live and interactive on our social media handles. We are on Facebook at the Black of Fire Network radio station. We are on Twitter, the Black of Fire Network, using the hashtag Pan-African Bliss with Joby and hashtag Black of Fire Network. You can also slide in the DM at the Instagram at the Black of Fire Network as well. Call us in, SMS us or WhatsApp us, because as I said, I want to hear different sentiments from different people on the matters that we'll be discussing today. That is at the +254-754-402-730. As you tell us where you're tuning in from, all the way from the 254. Where are you catching the vibes from? Nonetheless, Karibuni sana once again. As I said earlier, we'll be talking about we're gonna start with the matters of Burundi, because yesterday we were talking in the Rhythm Scoop show, whereby we did get to see that Tanzania right now, since the death of Magufuli, the president that is in right now, she's trying to tell people to take the jab, but it seems that Tanzanians have taken a U-turn to not they're not tolerating whatever Suluhu Hassan is trying to say. But in the terms of Burundi, yesterday we did get to see that they were donated some jobs, and the government itself did get to mention that it's not a must for you to take the job, but if you are willing to, it's not like you are being forced. Unlike other countries where we've seen that like whereby Joe Biden did get to mention the door-to-door vaccination. We did get also to see other different parts of the world. Actually, even in Africa right now, it's happening. I wonder if in Kenya, especially in Kenya, I'm fearing for the teachers, because right now schools are open. So many kids, we have about 15 million students who have gone back to school, and 73% of the teachers have not yet been vaccinated. And of course, I do know that there are those who know the demerits of this vaccination, and they wouldn't want to, no one would want to lose their lives just because of money. I mean, value your life first. Yeah. Anyway, in Burundi, it's been reported that it's been said that Burundi, one of the last countries in the world to start inoculating in population against COVID-19, said it has agreed to take COVAX vaccine, but with a condition. So it has agreed, but with a condition. The change of it came a day after the IMF agreed in principle to $78 million aid package to help Burundi deal with the fallout of the pandemic. Health Minister Tadine Ndikumana announced Wednesday that Burundi would accept COVAX vaccine offered by the World Bank, but would refuse to sign a waiver. He said he was demanded by the pharmaceutical. I cannot pronounce that. Pharmaceutical companies. Yes, that is what is being pharmaceutical companies. Nonetheless, I do hope that as much as these people are agreeing to take the vaccine, they know the demerits, because it's high time right now people do a research of whatever is really happening. Because I do keep on saying, we are given, or these social media handles, these people are watching us, they know everything that is going on, everything has been planned, and so on and so on. But as much as you're being given the resources, even on YouTube, we have even on TikTok, especially on TikTok. Right now, I think the biggest platform that is really ongoing, it's TikTok, which is really spreading so much news and, in different ways. So it's up to you whether you're going to believe whatever, you see different videos, but you don't know which one is to believe. So it's up to you to do the research before you take a really serious step. Because we've seen right now cases whereby if you go on talking about the jab, they come in for you also. If you go talking about the vaccine, they also come in for you. So it's up to you, also the Burundi people, to be super careful about what is really happening in different parts of the world. In other terms of Nigeria, it's been reported that Nigeria acquits Shia leader Zakzaki of murder charges. And they say that behind bars for more than 5 years, the leader of Nigeria, Shiites, is it Shiites? The Sheikh, I think in Swahili we call them the Sheikhs. That is being called the Shiite military. Ibrahim Zakizaki and his wife, accused of murder, were released on Wednesday by the court of Kaduna and regained freedom. Ibrahim Zakizaki, founder of the Islamic movement of Nigeria, was detained with his wife Zina Ibrahim since December 2015 after violence broke out during religious procession in Zaria. The army had fired, killing more than 350 people, and mostly unarmed Shiites, according to the human rights organization. The court acquitted Sheikh Ibrahim Zakizaki and his wife of all charges against them, and they were released today. One of his lawyers, Saud Ibrahim, told the progress. And I don't know what exactly, in Nigeria, a lot of things are really happening right now. There is the abduction of kids, there's the killing of people also, especially there is the conflict and between the Christian and the Muslim people. And this is what we keep on saying, whereby we've seen that right now so many Africans are divided because of, tribalism. We have we have religious, we have also the matters of corruption, which are being involved by our leaders. People are hating each other, and it's high, it has become like it has become really very serious in terms whereby people are also losing their life. I don't know, in Kenya it has never really happened. I don't think in Kenya it has really ever happened, but the fear that Kenyans really have is that the Muslims and the Al-Shabaab thing. But I don't think Kenyans hate the Muslim people. I have not seen it. This is the case whereby I only hear it in Nigeria. In Kenya, I've not seen, a Kenyan person going to the Muslim person telling them, you are a refugee, you are a Muslim, you're not supposed to be here, you people kill each other, you are Al-Shabaab, stuff. But in Nigeria, cases are really rising up, and it's high time for the government to unite people, the leaders to also unite people, because as much as you are doing your corrupt things outside there, ensure that your citizens are doing okay. That is the major thing and what really matters. Nonetheless, karibuni sana to the Pan-African Bliss. As I said, We are live and interactive on our social media handles. We are on Facebook at the Black on Fire Network Station. We are on Twitter at the Black on Fire Network. We are also on Instagram at the Black on Fire Network. Call us in, SMS us, or WhatsApp us at the +254-754-402-730 as you tell us where you're streaming in from and how is your week coming along. How was your week and how is your weekend coming along? What are the plans that you have for the weekend as we get to introduce the topic of today? So earlier on, I did mention this quote whereby, pardon the mess, my children are making memories. Pardon the mess, my children are making memories. And they did say that we, especially in Africa, I'm going to say generally in Africa, I've not seen it. It's not like I'm supporting, no, I'm not supporting the whites. I'm not supporting the whites. So do not come after me. But in Africa, and this is something that is seen, we know the African cultures, which are very serious. We have the African parenting, we have the African history, especially the African. I'll stick to the African culture. When it comes to the matters of parenting, the African parents are very strict. The African parents are those parents who are not going to tolerate anything or any stupidity from a kid. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it has reached a certain point right now that the cultures are forgotten, and right now even money, there's even corruption even in our homes. And I think it's corruption in our homes, whereby we've seen right now parents are more about the money, more about their businesses, more about themselves, that you forget even you have a family or even kids. Yeah. So I'm going to speak in the matters of teenagers. Personally, I'm going to maybe hint a little story about myself. Then at the end of the day, you're going to be able to understand what I'm really talking about. So personally, me growing up, I didn't grow up with both parents. Yeah, I did grow up as like half of my life. I did grow when I was I think since I was born till when I was 12 years. That is when I was living with my mom. Then when I was turning 13, I met my dad. Yeah, because personally, me growing up, I didn't even, because of the love of the love my mom gave me, the love the care she gave me, I never even had to question if I had a father or not. But later on, it's like she sensed something, and I think people do know when they are coming to maybe something is going to happen to them or something. Then she just had to take me to my dad, and she managed to challenge my mind. But at the end of the day, yes, I did come to good terms with my dad and everything, and I did get to know him better and better. But on the other hand, my dad was already married to another person. Yeah, so there is the difficulty of you going to a new home. You're not used to these people as much as this is your dad. You don't know him so well, and there is now the stepmom. Yeah, so you find that so many situations are rising up in different ways, and the understanding, before the understanding really comes in, it is quite difficult for you to be understood. They may think you are rude. They may think you are difficult to understand, but at the end of the day, there is the need to sit down with your kids to understand them. In general, I'm just trying to say the African parenting is quite poor. Let me just say poor, totally poor. You find that teenagers, I'll speak in the matters of teenagers because I've been there and I'm past there right now. I'm no longer a teenager, I'm a youth. And when you are growing up, there are changes in your body, there are changes in your mind. You grow differently. When you're done with the primary school, you go to high school. Then after high school, you go to college. So you're meeting different people from different parts of the world. And at the end of the day, you need to, understand. The parents need to understand, I'm taking my kid to university. I'm taking my kid to, college. She's going to meet different people. He's going to meet different people. He's going to engage in different behaviors. But it's up to me, for me, I'll conduct and handle this kid. So we're going to be checking some of the difficulties and the problems that teenagers face that parents do not really take keen of or special keen about. So one of the problems that I know about is depression. I remember personally, I'm gonna speak in my own experience. As I said, when I was a teenager, I lost my mom when I was a teenager, and watching someone going through cancer is quite one of the hardest thing. It was one of the hardest thing because she did have breast cancer, and after losing her, I was affected mentally because I was not ready. One, I was not mentally prepared. I was not physically prepared. I developed, ulcers. I developed depression. But at the end of the day, when I come back home, because at that time when she was sick, I was the one who was taking care of her. You understand and you know how the world is, or even how families can be. When someone is sick, or maybe when you are going through some problem, that is when you're gonna know who are your realest and who are the fake people. So I can say during my mom's, sickness, that is when I did get to know who are my realest and who are the fake ones, because that is when life, hits very hard. You have financial crisis. You have maybe you can't go to work, especially definitely she couldn't go to work because breast cancer, it comes to a point whereby your body becomes, one part of the body is heavy. You feel like you're going through chemotherapy, the energy is being consumed by the medicines, and so and so and so on. So when I lost my mother, I developed ulcers, I developed depression. But one of the things that did hurt me the most, as much as I was okay with my stepmom, because later on we did bond a relationship, a very good relationship, because she also did bond with my mom, which was super easier for me to bond with her. And later on, after after losing my mom, one of the things that I did hurt me the most is my dad didn't care. That is one thing I can say. My dad didn't give me attention. My dad didn't want to know, are you doing okay? Because there is the mental trauma, I can just say so. I was just going through a lot, imagining how I buried her, and imagining also no one I can say that was really there for me. No one important was there for me, because the person I needed the most was my dad, but he wasn't there for me. He's the person that I knew, the biological parent I am left with, but he wasn't there for me enough. So I really felt very hurt. I felt very depressed. I developed cancer. I developed blood infection, because I was not even eating properly. I was super stressed. Even in education, I was not performing okay, because I'm mentally affected and traumatized, for me to be able to accept all this that is going on. So depression is one of the things that is really going on. And I do hope that most of the parents, you can be able to sit down with your kids and be able to, understand them, because you find that most of the African parents, as I said, I'm gonna mention African, because I remember me growing up, when I was going through such trauma, I was just like, I was just telling God, I wish my parents, could were good parents and humble parents, in such a way they will raise up the way we see the whites raising up their children. You don't have to shout at us, just tell us things in a slower way that we'll be able to understand you and listen to you. So those are the things that most of the teenagers and most of the youths are going through out here. And that is when you find that someone is going to engage themselves into drugs. They're going to start drinking, they're going to start smoking, because first, they're not being given attention, they're not being given special care, no one really cares for them, and that is what is really affecting us the most. Nonetheless, we also have stress. As I said, depression also comes with stress, because for you to develop stress, for you to develop depression, you are facing stress. So as for me, as I said earlier, I was going through a lot. I faced ulcers, I faced depression, which came with stress. For you to also have ulcers, it's also because of stress. So many teenagers and youth are going through a lot. Even parents, I don't understand, even parents have their own, their own problems when it comes to raising kids. But this today is the major issue, because you yourself, you're trying to raise a kid the same way you were raised. That is the main issue that is really affecting most of families today. And as I said, you've seen that right now in many cases, especially right now, we've seen so many cases. I can say like about 70% out of 100. So 70% of teenagers and youths are running away from home because of stress, because of depression, because the parents are not giving them attention. Because for you to be able to understand your kid, you need to sit down with them, get to discuss different matters. I mean, how many of these parents, even you, whoever you are listening, How many times do you get to sit down with your kid and ask them, what are the things that you are going through? What are the challenges that you face in school? Because personally, I can say even in school, I did face a lot of things. I faced a lot of things. I can't say I was bullied because, I'm not the person. I'm not the type of person to be bullied, okay? I can say I'm a very, very strict person when it comes to fighting. That is, I not like I love fighting, but you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you back, yo. It's a tit for tat, but I'm not promoting violence. At the end of the day, that is a part of growing and part of teenagehood, and also, being a youth. But how many parents do get to sit down with their kids and get to ask them, what is it that you are going through in school? What are the challenges that you are facing in school? How are you even progressing in your education? Because the African parenting, it's whereby the parent is going to be paying school fees for you. Yes, you're eating my house, but so long as you are sleeping, you have a very good place to sleep, and that is it. And at the end of the term, they need to see the results, but they're not going to ask you what are the challenges that you are facing in school. Why is it that what is it that is affecting you for you to be able to even not for you to be able to pass this kind of subject and this and this and this. How often do you even help your kids to do their homework or their assignments, be it is a teenager or a youth? How often? Because these are the things that really are causing so many traumas here in the African parenting. And that is why you can see so many kids are running away from home. As I said, 70% right now. And I can say it even in the matters of right now in Kenya. It is happening. I've seen it. I can start with myself because personally, I did run away from home first because of being depressed, not being listened to, not being understood, which is one of the things that really affected me, to being and it somehow made me stronger, and it made me realize that in the journey, whereby I did mention earlier when I was giving out the quotes, it's made me realize that in this journey of parenting, a parent, you are also new to this world, right? And when God gives you a child, it is your responsibility. And not the kind of responsibility where you have to be super harsh unto them, where you don't need to understand them. It is the responsibility of you understanding them, because this is a first time thing. It's not like you have experienced it. It's not like you've been on another world. As much as we say spiritually, we've been into so many places so many times, but in the real reality is whereby God gives you the firstborn, you are able to raise them. It's for you to understand them, because this is a first time experience for you, and this is also a kid who is new to the world, and because you've been here before, they need your guidance. And your guidance is not by you telling them, oh, you're stupid, oh, you can't do well in studies, you can't do this and this and this and this. That is where most of the parents are going wrong, because you're super. Of course, there is the parent side, but there is understanding. That is the major point that I'm trying to give out. There is understanding. There is also self-esteem and body image, because so many teenagers out here are going through bullying. I can say bullying. You find that someone's self-esteem is super low and they have no one to talk to. But the person they are looking up onto, which is the parent, is not even giving them attention or even asking them, how are you doing today? How is school doing? What are the challenges that you are going through in the outside world? Because it's not all the time that a parent is going to, or rather you're going to be up and down with your kid. They need their space. They are growing up. And especially when a person reaches, as I said, when you turn 18 years, especially in Kenya, you are an adult. And that is the point that our parents need to understand you the most, because you're no longer a kid. You know the difference of what is right. But I did say right now with the generation of today, between the age of 12, 13, 14, 15 to 18, you already know what is wrong and right. But all you need is understanding. All you need is understanding. We have self-esteem and body image, which you find that so many teenagers right now are being bullied because of their body. Their self-esteem is being lowered. Personally, I'm the kind of person, ever since I realized myself and ever since I got the ownership of having a phone, I'm the kind of person who loves walking with my earphones on, because I'm not the kind of person who loves listening to negativities. Negativities really lowers my self-esteem. Even if I'm dressing, let's say I'm just dressing the way I feel comfortable with myself, but someone else thinks, this is you're not dressing super good, or it's not impressing me. You do not do things to impress people. You're doing things that they are impressing you and they are making you happy. So I'm gonna block my ears for me not to be able to hear negativities and shit. because at the end of the day, you need someone who understands you. And for you to find the group and the family, because most of teenagers or most of the people find these groups in different places, not in your family, but other friends who become family. That is what really happens even in the world of today. Nonetheless, we're going to take a short musical break. Then when we come back, we're going to be discussing more deeper matters and what is really happening. And I do hope that you are hearing me loud and clear, because as I said, I feel like my ears are blocked. I can't hear my voice super clearly. I feel like my tone is kind of low, but I do hope that you can hear me. Nonetheless, this is Manzeni Mekwala by the one and only Paul the Raj. Keep it the Black Wi-Fi Network. We're going to be right back.
Kwenye niko kwenye club na chapa konyaki maflush. Kisinga burika mezani mimi na mbogi ya power. Nakira daza mapai nina madema kwa shush. Tuliza baba we manzi yako I ain't giving a fuck. Kwenye niko kwenye club na chapa konyaki maflush. Kisinga burika mezani mimi na mbogi ya power. Nakira daza mapai nina madema kwa shush. Tuliza baba we manzi yako I ain't giving a fuck. All this liquor got me drowning, feeling like crying emojis. Y'all can see me, I'm like Josie, now while be acting a movie. Me and your girl on a movie, watching a flick, so we chilling. I got some crazy flows, the one that you cannot imagine. Kitty, kitty, bam, bam, just like my Dikaira titties. I do not follow my junkie, that she do not kinda console me. I get me a cushy and I spend my money on sipping some Henny. Me and you ain't on the same, for coffee to soup and got different. Kwenye niko kwenye club, na chapa konyaki maflush. Kisinga burika mezani, mini na mbogi ya power. Sakira daza mapai, nina madema kwa shush. Tuliza baba, we manzi yako I ain't giving a fuck. Kwenye niko kwenye club, na chapa konyaki maflush. Kisinga burika mezani, mini na mbogi ya power. Sakira daza mapai, nina madema kwa shush. Tuliza baba, we manzi yako I ain't giving a fuck. Young nigga banging some old ladies that on my penny they sleeping. I want me get at the gas, the bounce like Metro be booming. Me in the ghetto I'm moving. Which singers think I'm a cool kid? I saw the niggas be tripping, all of them bitches they high on some cookies. Ita wanchi conjoro get you know now money what any my baby. wanatupa tumamoshi, macho minyenyeka wako sokoni, wanadaitoka konyani kama mnazi na wachakani.
Yes, and that is some mood just to turn you onto the mood of the weekend. That is Konyagi by the one and only Charlie. And of course, I did get to play your man's Nimekola by the one and only also how is it called? His name just disappeared. Paul the Raj. Nonetheless, karibuni sana to the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. This is the Black Hot Friday Talk Media for the 21st century. I hope you are doing great this wonderful Friday as we get to vibrate these positive vibes all the way from the 254 to wherever you are streaming and listening to us from. We are appreciating your time. We are not taking it for granted. As we said, you can throw us, slide in the DM, interact with us on Instagram at the Black Hot Friday Talk, on Twitter, the Black Hot Friday Talk as well, using the hashtag Pan-African Bliss with Joby and hashtag Black Hot Friday Talk as well. You can also call us in, SMS us or WhatsApp us at the +254 754 402 730. We are having some heat to the light, and I do hope you can hear me clearly. That is what really matters, because as I said, my voice, and I feel like my ears are blocked. I can't hear my voice in in a clear way or in a loud way. Nonetheless, 30 minutes past 12, and we are almost approaching to the end of the show. But before that, we were talking about the matters of parenting, the African parenting, because it has become like a culture, or rather a trade, whereby you see so many kids wishing, or rather making a wish. I wish my parents could be as humble as they can, or I wish my parents, or rather I wish I was born in the States, because it's the matters of how African parents are handling kids. And I was just asking earlier, how often do you get to sit down with your kids and ask them how they are doing, especially if you are a parent? Because I do believe in the Black Hot Fire family, we have most of the people who are parents, and you might be having a young girl who's a teenager, or rather a youth, or maybe a boy who's a teenager and a youth. And I was just talking about some of the challenges that are affecting most of the youths and teenagers out here that parents are not considering, because it has come to a situation, or the generation, whereby our parents right now are all about money, all about businesses. They do not even take time to sit down with their family and ask the merits and the demerits that they are going through. And it has come to a point, especially here in the 254 Nairobi, Kenya. I was just saying about 70%, and this is a sure bet, whereby so many young kids are running away from home because of stress, depression, and parents are not giving them attention. Because you as a parent, God gave you this kid as a responsibility for yourself. Yes, it is a journey. It might be a hard journey, and I know it is super hard. Raising people like us, it is hard. I know that. And we do get to realize, because personally I can say, as much as I did get to say that I was not given the attention that I did need, which made me make some choices that I have made up to date, which I do not regret. But at the end of the day, when you look back, you're like, okay, I was somehow of a headache, but at the end of the day, he is my parent. He was supposed to understand me, or she was supposed to understand me, because these are responsibilities that you are given. I'm not just saying, just look at this picture, or in this picture, because that is how I figured it out. Whereby when God gives you a kid, this is a journey that you have not experienced. It's your first time journey. It's a new thing introduced to you. It's your kid. You've been here before. He or she is new into the world. So it's up to you to guide them and to show them the difference between what is wrong and what is right before they get to their teenagehood. And that it has come to a point whereby, personally, I was just saying, or rather I keep on saying, and this is one thing that I'm going to do. It's a sure bet. Be it I'll have, but on God, I want to have the best husband in the world. On God. On God. May the universe hear and give me that. On God. I need to have because I'm more of an extrovert, I'll need someone who's more of an extrovert like me. Someone who is more understanding, who will understand me in such a way he'll be able to understand even their kid or our kid. I'm the kind of parent who would want to be a homie to my child and not the mommy person. Yes, there is the parent side, there is the serious side, but more of a homie. Because why? I wouldn't want to grow my kids or raise my kids the same way I was raised. I don't want to be super harsh to my kids in such a way that, even if they're going through something, they go lock themselves in the room, they are stressed, they develop ulcers, because we've seen right now so many young teenagers who are developing ulcers. And I did get to mention, even in my own experience, where I did get to develop ulcers from the moment I lost my mom. And this is because no one was giving me attention, no one was there to ask me if I'm doing okay, because watching someone who's going through cancer, it was super hard for me. But it's not like I didn't get through it. I did, but it took me 3 years for me to walk out of the mental effect that I had watching all this all everything that my mom went through, and considering the fact that my dad was not there for me, not asking me how I was doing, which is what really affected me the most. I developed ulcers. I developed depression, to a point whereby we've seen even so many teenagers right now are even attempting suicide, because no one is giving them attention. It is even happening right now in terms of parents, whereby you're going through so much stress. Maybe you have a kid. Yes, you have. Let's say you have a family of 5, whereby you have kids and the wife. You have to provide, especially right now with the pandemic. And I did get to mention even this yesterday. So many people right now, I saw it today, whereby someone is working, but they can't even hear a matatu hooting. They're walking, but they can't even hear a matatu hooting, because you're walking, your head is held, your head is bowing down, you're super stressed, you're thinking, you can't even hear anything. Your ears are blocked because you are in your mental state, thinking so much. And that is what is also happening to the teenagers and the youths today. They are not being given proper attention and proper care. Teenagers also have stress. Teenagers also have cancers, and youths as well. Teenagers do get, or rather face, self-esteem and body shaming as well. Yeah, and these are the things that are affecting us, and affecting also young of the youths and teenagers out here. But because of the African parenting that is being conducted right now, whereby you not find so many parents who will sit down and talk to you in an adult way. Because as I said, the moment you are 18 here in Nairobi, Kenya, or even with the generation that we have right now, from 12, 13, 14, 16 to 18, you already know what the difference of what is right and what is wrong. But at the end of the day, you need guidance as well, and you need someone who is there for you to also guide you. You need someone to tell you, I was once in this stage, but this is not how you handle the issues. Yes, teenagers make mistakes. We make mistakes as youths. But at the end of the day, we also need someone who understands us and get to hear us out. Yes, I made a mistake, but this is the reason why I did it. Now guide me from here. But you'll find many parents right now, instead of handling issue in such a calm way and getting to understand their kids, right now most of the children are being chased out in the streets. And that is when you find that children end up being street children. Young girls end up, engaging themselves into early marriages, because you're depressed, you are desperate, you have nowhere to go. And of course, anyone who's going to approach you, I love you, I care for you, I'm going to do this and for you. You get pregnant after maybe you giving birth, or maybe after some time they don't even show concern. They're gonna be cheating all over and bringing all sorts of women in the house, because of the parents we have, because our parents are leading us into this kind of situation. So what is it that we can do, especially for the parents? What is it that you can do? Not for us, because as for us, I can say personally, so many times that I tried to sit down with my dad, trying to talk to him, but I was seen as the bad person. Oh, you're rude, you don't want to listen, you don't want to do this. I give you time to talk, but when it's my time to talk, I'm being disrespectful. No, it's high time as parents you get to listen to your kids, because with the state and how things are being handled right now, it's going to end up very terrible. It's going to reach a point whereby parents are going to find themselves lonely, because the kids you had, or maybe that one kid you had, you didn't know how to handle her. Yesterday, I was just talking to an uncle of mine, and he was just telling me a story of how, how I have 5 cousins, and one of the cousins is one of whom calls me a European, when we were talking about we were discussing with Keith, whereby he did get to deny all the things that the Europeans did come to do here in Africa. He was in denial. So my uncle has 5 children, 3 girls and 2 boys, and out of these children, all of them have gone to the university. He has given them proper education. He has really catered everything for them. And when you see the type of hustle he does, he sells magazine in town, and he has done everything he can. Actually, right now, I am insured, and I know he has paid for one of the students 1 point something million just because for a student to go do nursing and become a doctor. But at the end of the day, I was just talking to him, in such a manner. It's not all about money. It's not all about, all the things that you give to your kid. It's the attention. Because when I was trying to talk to him, he's the most humble person I've met. He's the most calm person I've met. You won't find him shouting all over. You won't find him, quarreling, for no reason. He's the kind of person who will try to sit you down, even when it comes to my case. When I'm going through something, I'll go there, talk to him, and he just sit down, take his time, and approach me in a very calm way. Not like, that is where we really go wrong, because the African parents are really going wrong, because you're not trying to understand your kids. There is also a teenage pregnancy whereby it has led so many kids being thrown out of their homes. This child might have maybe faced rape. She might be raped. She might have been assaulted by someone, maybe even a relative, because I did get to mention whereby personally, and I'm talking all this because of from my own experience and my own point of view, and also I get to see other parents handling their kids. Now I'm just like, wow, really? Do you really have to do that? Do you really have to do that? When I was young, I did escape rape, and I did mention this when we were having a show some time back with Kid. I did escape rape, and it was from my own uncle. It was from my own uncle. So you'll find that most teenagers are having, facing early pregnancies, and maybe it can be from, a rape, or maybe being assaulted, maybe by a relative or something, and you're being told to keep quiet. Maybe they're gonna do something terrible to you, and because you don't want to sit down and understand, why did they do this? Why did you have to do this when you're still at your home? Why didn't you wait for you to reach this certain age and this and this and this and this? You find that so many parents, we say in Swahili, wanafokea. You're so harsh on kids. You're not trying to understand your kids. But at the end of the day, personally, I am trying to. My message is, as African parents, this is basically to the African parents: try and sit down and understand your children. Yes, I know parenting might be hard. I can't say how hard it is because I've not been there, but try, sit down, talk to your kids and understand them, because they are also human beings like you. We make mistakes, we are at fault at times, but we need your guidance more. We need your understanding, because if we run onto the world is cold. The street is cold. They say the street is super cold. So please try to understand your kids. And at the end of the day, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna find that you're building a beautiful home, and they're gonna be grateful for how you raised them, and they're going to have an easy life ahead because they didn't face trauma, and you are there to understand them. Even when it comes to men, I'm gonna say in terms of girls, you find that so many girls are going to be throwing themselves at men. It is because of how you are raising them. It is because of how you are handling them. She might be asking you for cash, but you are denying her. She might be asking you for maybe pocket money, but you just like no. So you expect her, when she finds a boyfriend, she's not going to ask for money. She's not going to throw herself to that man for her to be able to get whatever she wants. Be able to handle the kids in a safer way. That is what I had today, and I hope at the end of the day it has made an impact in someone, and especially to the parents. I do hope you're going to be able to sit down just for once, even if it is once in a month, or even twice a month, or once in a month. It is good. Sit down with your kid, try talk to them, understand them, the merits and the demerits they face outside here, because it's not all the time, as I said, you are there with them. It's not all the time that you are working with them when they are going to school, or whenever they are in school, because they'll meet different people with different behaviors, and at the end of the day, you need to be the guide, you as the parent. This has been the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, and you are listening to the Blackout Fire Network Media for the 21st century. We have the Rhythm Scripture line for you. We have the African Diary today. African Diary, I do confuse African Diary and the Africa Today, but we have the African Diary also lined up for you. We have the Rhythm Scoop Show. We have the 254 to Jadili Show. I do hope that you have learned something. For the person who's watching, just wave and say hi as you get to wind up. And I do hope if you are a parent, you get to understand, what is really going on. Nonetheless, I want to say kwaheri for now, and let us be able to understand our kids. Let us be able to raise our kids in a good manner. Let us not be the kind of parents who are making our kids run away from home, because that is what is really happening right now in the generation of today. Kids are running away from home because of lack of attention and understanding. And at the end of the day, especially in the matters of girls, you find that girls are throwing themselves at men, or rather, in the streets, because they don't have any solutions left. The people she had, because as I said, sometimes kids can be hectic to handle. They may be hard to handle because they're growing up. You are also in that process. You might not maybe remember how hard you had to handle to your parents, but at the end of the day, let us be able to take care of what is our own. Let us stop throwing our kids to the streets. That is not the solution. The solution is you as an adult, you as a parent, sitting down with them and understanding them. That is what I had for today, and I do hope it has made an impact to someone, especially to the parents and also to the teenagers. Whoever is listening, I do hope whoever this message is going to come, or rather reach out to, give your parents also an easy time, and be able, because we've seen also other children who are not able to communicate to their parents because of how harsh they are to them. And I do hope you be the kind of person who listens and who will be able to also be free, not be shy, but talk about your issues. And if you're not being listened to, that is when the issue, is going to pop out. But at the end of the day, I do hope that the generation and everything is going to change. Asanteni sana for everyone who has tuned in. For now, to say kwaherini with one amazing song. And this is a memory verse by the one and only Eagle Queen. And I hope that you keep it the Blackout Fine Network, because as I said, we have other amazing shows lined up for you. We have the Rhythm Scoop Show, we have the African Diary, we have other amazing shows lined up for you. We also have the 254 to Jadili show, we have the African Today show later on in the evening. And I want to appreciate everyone who's been in the house today. We're not taking your time for granted. I want to say kwaherini for now. This is the Blackout Fine Network, media for the 21st century. Memory verse, memory, eh. Eh.
Yo, open up, look at my China. Now that I'm sitting with the China.